Hello, Internet. It is a beautiful Friday, and I have resumed my practice of heading out on the motorcycle on Fridays. There it is. Today is January the 13th, Friday the 13th. Now, I didn't get a lot of motorcycle riding in as of late because November we went off to Europe and we both got sick. I got COVID and my wife got pneumonia. Had to get over that. And then there was December, very, very cold, unusually cold here in central Virginia. And I had to bring my motorcycle in for work, and that took a while. But we're back out on the Harley. So, where am I now? This is King's Famous Barbecue. I just had lunch at King's Barbecue here in Petersburg, Virginia. It's been open since 1946. My kind of place. So I'm wondering what I should do next. There's the Battle of the Crater. Could go there, but I've been there. Fort Lee isn't far away, and I understand there's a Quartermaster Museum there. So I think that's going to be my next destination, the Fort Lee Quartermaster Museum. Well, as we know, armies march on their stomachs. And to that end, I am at the Fort Lee Quartermaster Museum. I was especially impressed with their collection of flags. A beautiful one here. You see this 30-star flag from 1848 to 1851. And this one, a 34-star flag, much bigger. Take that. World War I leggings. Transportation. Check out the oven. Field range number 1. This range could feed 100 to 150 soldiers, depending on how it was set up, and that is a handcart. Sergeant First Class Henry B. Brandt. Good-looking uniform, in good shape. Huh. Personalize the inside of his hat. Look through a salvage dump, 1918. Oh boy, let's see what we got here. A blacksmith shop. Fort Lee, one of the Army's largest remount depots. Bath and dipping vat, in which horses received disinfection on the way to the front. 1918. Not thrilled to be in there. Cool old poster. A portable scale. A blue Norfolk coat, Army Nurse Corps. You could pause and read about that if you like. Old Virginia never tires. Fort Lee's bands, and one of the songs they sang was the Song of Camp Lee, Petersburg, Virginia, 1917. But they don't sing that anymore. The Sammies are coming. This song is featured with unprecedented success by the boys of Camp Lee, Petersburg, Virginia. Unprecedented. War is hell. Here's the Camp Lee newsletter called The Bayonet. This is what we call a happy camper. The Battle of Petersburg, 1781. Didn't know about that. I'll have to read about this later. On Steuben. Model T truck. That is one aggressive bulldog. Laundry services. Somebody's got to do the laundry. Wow. During World War I, the Quartermaster Corps operated laundry and bath operations. Okay. Dryer, laundry, liquid fuel. It's an M85 laundry unit, trailer mounted. And here's a shower unit. Fabric repair specialists. Lice. Yeah, you don't want lice. Make a soldier miserable. Poor hygiene and disease have caused more deaths in war than all the weapons mankind has produced. Here's a World War I portable pressure disinfector. And it is a beast. Here's how they do aerial delivery of goods. Live animal container. Bamboo container. Got some crackers, candy, and jam for you boys. Parachute riggers. Fuel. Lots and lots of fuel cans. Jerrycans are milestones victory. Yep. Gotta have fuel. My men can eat their belts, but my tanks have got to have gas. Patton. Is this actually General Patton's Jeep? Yeah, it is. Well, how about that? This is one of Patton's Jeeps used toward the end of World War II and during the months immediately following. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Pretty cool. That means Patton. At the present time, my chief difficulty is not the Germans, but gasoline. If they would give me enough gas, I could go anywhere I want. If only I could steal some gas, I could win this war. Yep, Pipeline Pete. The unofficial symbol of the Quartermaster Petroleum Department. Cool. I like Pipeline Pete. Funeral caisson, circa 1863. This caisson was used to carry the remains of Confederate President Jeff Davis during his reburial at Hollywood Cemetery in Richmond on May 31st, 1893. It was also used to bear the remains of Confederate General George Pickett when he was reburied at Hollywood Cemetery in 1875. An impressive looking thing. Here's another interesting artifact. Truck, 1/4 ton, 4x4 Ford, GPW. The million-mile Jeep first saw service in Europe during World War II. After the war, it was transferred to the French Army. In 1948, when they became involved in French Indochina, was transported to Vietnam, later captured by the North Vietnamese. It was used by them until 1965, when it was recaptured and reused by U.S. forces during the Vietnam War. 1967, it was shipped back to the U.S. and deemed historical property. These markings on the rear bumper indicate that it was used by the Vietnamese forces during the war. The million-mile Jeep. And here's the Eisenhower van. When Dwight D. Eisenhower arrived in England in January 1944 as the newly appointed Supreme Commander of the Allied Expeditionary Force. The headquarters was located at Southwick House, near Portsmouth, England. Eisenhower preferred living in the field. So, 4 Army Air Corps instrument repair vans were outfitted as a field headquarters and placed near Southwick House. Eisenhower referred to them as circus wagons. And one of those vans, exhibited here, was outfitted as his personal living quarters, containing a bed, closet, shower, and latrine. It was in this van on the morning of June 6, 1944, that General Eisenhower received the first reports of the D-Day landings in Normandy. So let's go into the Eisenhower van. Huh. Not what you would call palatial. But better than the average soldier had. Oh, look, stereo speakers. Obviously not. Shh, it's secret. Oh, we can't see inside the latrine and the showers. What a pity. Here's a mock-up of enlisted barracks, 1942. Pack mules, pack saddles, and mule packers, the quartermaster remount mission. And on the back is my favorite portrait of Ulysses S. Grant, leaning against a loblolly pine that I used to call Virginia pines. Oh, cool, General Grant's saddle. This is the primary saddle that General and future President Ulysses S. Grant used for the duration of the Civil War. It's a Grimsley model, a style which had been in service with the regular army since 1847, when it replaced the ringgold saddle. Borrowing some characteristics from Mexican styles, this model improved upon the ringgold by using a shrink-fit rawhide tree instead of relying upon iron strapping and screws for its strength. At the conclusion of the Civil War, General Grant gave the saddle to his friend and fellow officer, Colonel A.H. Markland. This saddle first came to the Quartermaster Museum on loan from a descendant of Colonel Markland's. Upon her death, it was purchased and made a part of the permanent collection. Where that leather sits, Ulysses S. Grant's butt was once placed. My favorite general. Very cool. And chevrons. If you want to know about chevrons, hey, experimental chevrons. Interesting. If you want to know about chevrons, this is the place to come. CCC experimental chevrons. More experimental chevrons. All sorts of interesting designs. I'm a cook. And they have this. Civil War chevrons. When I used to do Civil War, I wanted to be a pioneer, but that got frowned upon. But the chevrons were cool. Oh, let's see what we got here. World War I chevrons. Okay. Quite a collection. Saving the Flag by Thomas Nast on oil. After his political cartoonist career ended, Nast painted a number of commission works, including Saving the Flag, a patriotic-themed painting inspired from the Civil War. Based on a drawing he'd done in 1863, this painting was probably done in the 1890s. I like it. Very strong command of technique. All sorts of things to see here. Well worth a visit. Here's an interesting display of food. World War I ration components, World War II, sea rats one day, World K rats, Vietnam era, which was when I was in the Marine Corps. I remember these. Present day meal, ready to eat. I like this MRE with this characteristic font. Warfighter recommended, warfighter tested, warfighter approved. And present day MRE. Special dietary needs. Hello. Cold weather. And kosher MRE meals. Very cool. Meanwhile, on the home front, here's some of the things you could buy. You would pay with that National Cash Register. Why? We've got a shopping cart full of food. Corn Toasties, Kraft Dinner, Philadelphia brand cream cheese, Velveeta, Post Grand Nuts, Similac, and I guess that was milk. Here's a Dale Stivers painting. Lincoln and Grant. Supply Depot at City Point, Virginia, March 24th, 1865. Not too far from where I'm standing. I've been there. Rufus Ingalls' sword. Get the supply train through. Army uniforms. Wow. I have a friend who would absolutely love this place. And if he ever comes out to Lake Caroline, we are going to have to make a trip down here. Ah, great coat. I used to have a reproduction of one of those. A very big museum. Deceptively large. I didn't think it was going to be this extensive from the outside. What have we here? Battle of the Little Bighorn. The water carrier incident. I will let you read what the water carrier incident was. You can pause and look on. Nobody ever heard of a quartermaster in history. For your future success, be a business soldier in the United States Army. Business soldiering. Okay. Impressive museum. What a great looking bike. Anyway, this is the Quartermaster Museum at Fort Lee. Doesn't look like much from the outside, but wow, what a collection. Definitely worth a visit here at Fort Lee. Okay, next stop, I think, Battle of the Crater. Nah, I thought I was going to go to the crater, but it started getting really cloudy, and then it started getting cold. So I just went home instead. Here I am, Mount Olympus, my usual spot. This bench, this hanging bench I like. So that's how I've ended today's ride.